Professionals. The Cecil Wallace Whitfield building is no more. Our cameras were there as the walls came tumbling down. And police begin to piece together the story of skeletal remains found in eastern New Providence last evening. All those stories and more straight ahead in the Bahamas tonight.
Covering the islands of the Bahamas, ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news is brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping the news this evening, another phase of the government's National Job Skills Training Initiative has begun, preparing scores of Bahamians to take on careers in the healthcare sector. Today, those successful candidates heard from Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham on the plan to restore confidence in a limited job market.
6 days before Christmas, and a lucky group of Bahamians are getting a gift they'll be able to enjoy well after the season ends. The opportunity to gain work experience in one of the fastest growing fields in the country, the medical field, and at the government's largest corporation, the Public Hospitals Authority. These 87 are part of the government's National Job and Skills Training Initiative. Prime Minister Ingraham addressed participants of the Public Hospital Authority's program at the Hilton Hotel, telling the participants his administration is fostering new generations of professionals and entrepreneurs which will enhance economic development for decades to come.
The country needs you, and the country wishes you well in your aspirations, and that's why we are investing in your future. We ask in return for this investment that you honor this confidence being placed in you through hard work, punctuality, being on time, diligence, and a good attitude. As the economy continues to improve, the need for skilled, experienced individuals will become even greater than it is today. Embrace all aspects of this training being offered to you.
Participants have been placed at Princess Margaret Hospital, the Ram Memorial in Grand Bahama, Sandilands Rehabilitation Center, the Materials Management Directorate, National Emergency Services, and the corporate office.
I'm also told that the PMH has requested 143 trainees, 40 odd of whom will be trained to perform duties required in the critical care block. And that Sandilands is seeking some 77, 31 of whom will be assigned to the new child and adolescent care unit. And the RAN has requested 69 of whom 31 are to be placed in the accident and emergency unit.
Health Minister Dr. Hubert Minish reminding the new temporary employees that the healthcare sector is one area resilient to recession. Therefore, it has the possibilities of providing a great future.
At the end of 12 months, the Public Hospital Authority may decide to extend employment to 10, 20, 30, 40, or even more. Even more of you. Whatever the number, the challenge for you is to ensure that you are one of those selected to stay.
Managing Director of the Public Hospitals Authority, Herbert Brown, says investment in quality human resources is not only essential, but critical.
Whether you are an emergency medical services technician, responding to an anxious caller to the community, or a rehabilitation technician who must coordinate programs for the patients at the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center, your contact with that patient will greatly influence their recovery.
Now, over the next 12 months, the temporary employees will be assigned trained mentors. Interesting, though, the Prime Minister said that although they're being trained by the government, it doesn't necessarily mean they have to work for the government. They'll also be available for private sector employment. Clint Watson, ZNS News.
The Arawak Port development has been put out to public offering. A ceremony held on Friday formalized an offer to sell part of the development to the public. At $10 per share, shares were made available on December 16th and will remain on sale until January 31st. A minimum of 50 shares must be purchased. Jimmy Moscow is chairman of the Arawak Port development.
Everybody who does purchase into it will be getting it the same price as the original shareholders of the company did. So without having their money out for 2 years like we did, they have a benefit of doing that. And I think it is a very, very good investment with dividends every year.
Providence Advisors Limited and CFAL are placement agents for the $10 million initial public offering. Providence Advisors CEO Kenwood Kerr.
We think this is an attractive investment based on the ownership structure, which is a public-private sector partnership, where at the end of the day, and it's outlined in your prospectus, the government with the public will own about 60% of the shares, 40% will be in the private shareholding. We think the industry structure, as Mike would have touched on earlier, in terms of containerized shipping, remains the most environmentally sustainable mode of transportation, and where 80% of all world trade is carried by sea. And this is particularly important for the Bahamas, as our economy is import-based, and we get a lot of goods and services, or goods that we consume via ships.
Now, while the project is 3 months behind schedule, officials say it has not exceeded its $83 million budget. The Cecil Wallace Whitfield building is no more. The building, which housed the office of the Prime Minister, was demolished this afternoon as Bahamar officials make way for the multi-billion-dollar development. A number of Bahamar developers were present for the demolition, one of many to come and has already passed by as a new Cable Beach landscape takes shape. Just last week, a new state-of-the-art police station was opened, replacing the old one. In a few months' time, the Nassau Beach Hotel will be demolished. The Ministry of Works has a Christmas gift for motorists: detour-free streets for Christmas. Today, the Works Minister gave an update on the work, which, although progressing, continues to be a sore point for some affected businesses. Here's Janaea Noel. Ferguson.
The holiday commute this Christmas will be a little bit easier, as major roadways here in the capital are now paved, accessible, and no more roadworks expected for this year. Minister of Works and Transport gave an update on the mega project during a media tour today.
We are progressing as we expect, and we expect the roadworks to be completed in its entirety, certainly by July. But what is most important is the fact that we've been able to provide the motoring public of New Providence with drivable roads for the Yuletide season.
Even with these major accomplishments, business owners like Eva Williams of Carpet World on Blue Hill South said the roadworks still are having a negative impact on businesses in the area. She expressed her concerns to the minister.
It's a serious recession in the Bahamas.
We do apologize.
It's very inconvenient for them to do this to us in November and December.
Well,
November and December
the
are the months that Bahamians try to make a dollar. And as far as I'm concerned, I felt they should have come back in January and restart and give us an opportunity to make a dollar. Y'all are making it very difficult for us to survive.
We regret the loss of business to that person, as well as others throughout New Providence, but it's something that had to be done. That area in front of Carpet World, to be exact, since she came and identified herself, will be cleared up, and there will be access to her business and all the other businesses along Blue Hill Road over the next several weeks.
Meanwhile, work on one of the busiest thoroughfares in the country, Prince Charles Drive, is almost complete with expanded lanes, lighting, and pedestrian-friendly crossings. Last week, the Prime Minister revealed that the $120 million project is now about $50 million over budget. Grant says that this will all be broken down when the matter is debated in the House of Assembly on January 23rd.
What the overspend entails does not involve the question of disappointment. It will point out very, very clearly that it was a case beyond our control.
Now, workers will be back on the road come January 5, 2012, but the entire roadworks project is expected to be completed by July of next year. Janaea Noel, Ferguson, ZNS News.
Well, Minister Grant also gave an update on the new and improved traffic light system here in New Providence. He said additional investments will have to be made to ensure that they are properly maintained.
The traffic light system is under contract, 6 months ago, we had many, many challenges. Over the past several months, I'm sure you have noticed a tremendous improvement. That is something that we're going to have to invest in short order in terms of the replacement, because the fixtures, the infrastructure of the signal system is extremely old. We have been repairing them. In some instances, in short order, we will refit, and in other instances, we will have to replace.
Still to come in the Bahamas tonight, another reason you better watch out this Christmas. That is, if you have criminal intentions. That story is still to come.